What if I told you that a small-town boy with no money, no connections, and no university degree became the greatest writer in human history? A boy who faced poverty, tragedy, and rejection, yet his words are still alive 400 years later. His name? William Shakespeare. But here's the shocking part. Nobody knows what he did for 7 years of his life. These lost years remain a mystery even today. How did he go from nothing to writing for kings and queens? How did his plays become so powerful that we still use his words every single day? Today, I'll reveal his incredible journey in just 10 minutes. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see your own dreams differently. So, stay with me till the end, because this story will change how you think about success. Let's begin. The humble beginning. April 1564. A small town called Stratford-upon-Avon. A baby boy was born to John and Mary Shakespeare. They named him William. His father? A simple glove maker. Not rich, not famous, just a hard-working man trying to feed his family. His mother came from a farming family. They had 8 children. Life was noisy, busy, and simple. But young William was different. He didn't just play like other kids. He observed everything. How people spoke, how they laughed, how they cried. He was curious about words, about stories, about life itself. Back then, there was no TV, no internet, no phones. People entertained themselves with stories. Traveling actors would come to town and perform plays on the streets. Young William would watch with wide eyes, completely amazed. Something was being born inside him, a love for stories that would change the world. At age 7, he started school. He learnt Latin, history, and poetry. He read stories of ancient Rome and Greece. Writers like Ovid and Virgil inspired him deeply. But then, disaster struck. William's father started facing serious money problems. His business was failing, debts were piling up. The family that once lived comfortably now struggled to buy food. Young William saw the stress in his father's eyes, the worry in his mother's voice. Life became uncertain, difficult, painful. But instead of giving up, William learned something powerful. Life is full of ups and downs. Nothing is permanent. This pain would later become the soul of his greatest plays. Then, at age 18, something unexpected happened. He fell in love with a woman named Anne Hathaway. But there was a problem. She was 26 years old, 8 years older than him. And worse, she became pregnant before marriage. In those days, this was a huge scandal. Society was very strict, so they had to marry quickly. At just 18 years old, William Shakespeare became a husband. 6 months later, a baby girl, Susanna. 2 years later, twins, Hamlet and Judith. Now he had a wife and 3 children, but no stable job, no money, no clear future. The question haunted him, how will I survive? And then William Shakespeare disappeared. 1985 to 1992, 7 years of his life. Nobody knows what happened. Historians call these the lost years. No records, no letters, no proof of where he was or what he did. Some say he became a teacher. Some believe he joined traveling actors and learned the art of performance. Others claim he got into legal trouble, maybe caught hunting on a rich man's land and had to run away. Nobody knows the truth. But when he reappeared in 1592, everything had changed. He was no longer the small-town boy from Stratford. He was in London, the biggest city in England, and he was ready to shock the world. The rise. London in the 1590s was buzzing with energy. Theatres everywhere, actors, writers, poets, all competing for fame. Shakespeare arrived with nothing, no money, no connections, no experience. But he had something more powerful, raw talent and unstoppable hunger. He started as a small actor in theatre groups. He watched everything, studied how people moved, spoke, expressed emotions, and then he started writing his own plays. At first, simple comedies to make people laugh, but slowly he realized, I can do more than entertain. I can make people think, feel, question life itself. His plays started getting noticed, but not everyone was happy. A famous writer named Robert Greene insulted him, publicly calling him an upstart crow, a nobody trying to act important. Did Shakespeare quit? No, he worked harder, wrote more, performed more. Then in 1593, disaster struck again. A deadly disease called the plague spread across London. Theatres shut down, no work, no income. But Shakespeare didn't waste time. He started writing poems, two masterpieces, Venus and Adonis, The Rape of Lucrece. These poems made him famous. Even Queen Elizabeth I was impressed. When theatres reopened in 1594, Shakespeare was unstoppable. He joined a famous acting company called the Lord Chamberlain's Men. And then came his greatest works, the masterpieces. One after the other, Shakespeare created magic. Romeo and Juliet, a tragic love story that still makes people cry. Hamlet, about revenge, madness and destiny. To be or not to be. You've heard this line, right? Macbeth, power, ambition and guilt. How greed destroys everything. Othello, love destroyed by jealousy. His plays weren't just entertainment, they were mirrors of human nature. Love, betrayal, power, revenge, dreams, fear, everything that makes us human, he captured it perfectly. By the late 1590s, Shakespeare wasn't just famous, he was rich. He owned shares in the Globe Theatre. Every play performance made him money. He published books that sold all over England. He bought multiple properties, including a grand house in Stratford called New Place. Most playwrights struggled to survive, but Shakespeare was living like a king. Then in 1603, Queen Elizabeth I died. The new king, James I, took over. Everyone wondered, will the new king support theatre? Not only did King James love Shakespeare's work, he gave his company the highest honor. They became the King's Men, official actors of the royal court. Shakespeare had gone from a glovemaker's son to the most celebrated writer in England's history. Between 1603 and 1611, he wrote his deepest, darkest plays. King Lear, Macbeth, The Tempest. His writing became more emotional, more philosophical, because Shakespeare himself was changing. He had seen fame, fortune, betrayal, and loss. His plays became reflections of his own life. By 1611, he had achieved everything: fame, wealth, respect, but something was missing: the end and the legacy. In 1613, Shakespeare made a surprising decision. He retired. After years in London, he returned to his hometown Stratford-upon-Avon, to the quiet streets, the green fields, the simple life. He wanted peace, time with family, rest. He would walk in his garden, read books, think about the life he had lived. But his mind was still full of stories. Even in retirement, he couldn't stop thinking about words. Then, in 1616, something unexpected happened. After attending a dinner party with friends, Shakespeare fell ill. Some say it was a fever, some say a disease. Nobody knows for sure. On April 23, 1616, at age 52, Shakespeare died. The world lost a genius. But before he died, he wrote a warning on his grave. "Good friend, for Jesus' sake forbear to dig the dust enclosed here. Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones." Even in death, his words were powerful. The town of Stratford fell silent. People gathered at Holy Trinity Church to say goodbye. He was buried in the same town where he was born. But here's the magic. His words refused to die. 400 years later, Shakespeare is everywhere. His plays are performed in every country. His books are studied in schools worldwide. His phrases are part of our daily language. All the world's a stage. To be or not to be, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. His stories remind us who we are and who we can become. My friends, Shakespeare's life teaches us one thing. You don't need to be born rich or famous to make history. You just need a dream and the courage to chase it. Shakespeare was a small-town boy with nothing, but he believed in his words. He worked hard. He never gave up. And today, his name is immortal. You have a dream too, right? Maybe you want to be a writer, an actor, a creator, a leader. Don't let fear stop you. Don't let people doubt you. Start today, work hard, stay consistent. Because as Shakespeare himself said, it is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. Your future is in your hands. Now, go and make history. If this inspired you, like this video, comment your dream below and subscribe for more powerful stories. See you in the next video. Stay inspired, stay unstoppable.